Hey guys, Likers here, JPS here, and this is going to be my honest review of Final Fantasy XIV. Now, disclaimer, my opinion and experience will differ from others. Mind you, I have like 12 years of experience in this game. Some people have similar, some have more, some have less. It doesn't matter, but most people who has at least who've been playing since The Realm Reborn or Heaven's Ward has a good idea of this game for the most part of everything that happens. Those that come later and doing Stormblood and afterwards, it's kind of different. Similar experience, but I'm kind of like, if you started in the Realm Reborn or Heaven's Ward, you know the Dark Ages. If you started after that, you're kind of like, you're spared from the Dark Ages. Or some of the pain we went through back then. Also, this is my personal disclaimer for this because I'm going to say this now. If somebody's been giving their opinion and shit talking this game, or their opinion this game is so far gone, I'm telling you, quit the game. And because it's like the game is trash because of this and that, or they hate Yoshi P or whatever, and they haven't been playing this game since, I don't know, Shadowbringers or Stormblood, I'm sorry, but your opinion is invalidated. Shut the fuck up and GTFO. I'm sorry. Unless you've been playing currently and up until recently, I'm sorry. It's invalidated. You can only speak up to the point you play to. Anything after that, you keep it to yourself. With that out the way, let's get into this. Now, I'm going to be honest. This game, honestly, back then, I used to play this game more religiously, constantly. But now, I'm kind of like, I'm slowed down. I'm at the point like, yeah, I log in, count my tomes, do my savage rating, do the ultimate. Ooh, sorry. And this be done for the week. I play other stuff. That's basically like how to spend my time. I don't want to spend all my time at 14. And the only reason I probably still play 14 constantly now is just to get those last few trophies from the base game, because I'm on a PS5 version, and I just want to get those collectible trophies so I can have platinum and I'd be like, yes. Now, story wise with this game, I'm gonna be honest, I don't play this game for the story. I play this for the raids, and that's pretty much it. I'm not leaving it for the raids. That's it. Story wise, it has its moments where it's good and bad. So I'm like, okay, I can see where we're going. I like this. I can get behind it. It's been good. It's been bad. Also, I don't play this game with English voices. Okay, I play this with the Japanese voices because it makes cutscenes go by faster. And honestly, just because I know how some translators get and they like to change certain things, at least I've listened to the Japanese version. At least it's not. It keeps to the original, so I'm like, okay, I get it. Now, the raids, they always be at the hit or miss for me, and usually they're the hit. Pandemonium, like, I was okay with it. Actually, I was okay with it. I like Pandemonium raids. Music, it was a hit or miss, but I didn't care much. I can enjoy it. Extreme Childs, yeah, the same thing. If the music is kicking, I'm gonna get behind that fight. And this is it shows. A Realm Reborn, I don't care too much for them. Some of them was good, some of them bad. It's like, it's the first one. It's the reboot. I let it slide. I don't care. Heaven's Ward, oh, they got me hooked. I was like, yeah, I'm getting behind this. Stormblood, oh, you got my full attention. Then you get to Omega, I'm like, oh, yes, that music is kicking. Shadowbringers, with the Eden raids, I know, oh boy, I can hear every Final Fantasy VIII fanboy and fangirl coming to woodwork screaming. Yeah, it's that good music, but some of the throwback music was good, but I will admit, to the extreme, I love that one. And I don't want to hear about no Final Fantasy VIII and how this game is good. Final Fantasy VIII wasn't my first Final Fantasy. Final Fantasy VII gets that title. Give me a something similar to a Final Fantasy VII raid, or something with Final Fantasy VII in it, like Sephiroth or something. And that's what I'm waiting on. uh, Endwalker with the Pandemonium. There's good music in the air. I liked it. Still can't fix that bitch Athena, and I don't care. She can stay broken and unfixable. I'm okay with that. But the music was good. And now we're into Dawn Trail. Oh, sweet Jesus, Dawn Trail. The raid music, the Arcadian. I'll be like, yeah, let me get this thing on Spotify or iTunes, whatever. Yeah, I need to listen to this on repeat while I'm working. That music was kicking. It hit. It hit hard for me. And then Everything Burns. Yeah, I know there's that people like, oh, don't like him because he's this and that. I'm like, who cares? This music is in the game and it kicks. It has a feel. I'm like, I'm sitting leaning back in my chair playing again. I'm like, here, Everything Burns. I'm like, no, we're going in. I'm leaning forward. I'm gaming. I'm in zone mode. That's how I get. And you know, the extreme fights, the trial fights, they hit or miss at times too. Ellsworth had a few like Sephiroth. I loved his. That was my favorite. I know King Thornton is our Final Fantasy VII because Knights of the Round. So yeah, I get it. There's my Final Fantasy VII. He was MSQ and basically he's an ultimate. Byakuya Extreme Trial. Byakuya's fight for a trial fight. I loved his music. Shadowbringers, all the weapons. That was such good music. Those 4 Demon Lords from Endwalker. That was good. I love that. Yes, I was kind of like, step on me, mommy, Barbaricha. What are you gonna do about it? Sue me. Dontra, I don't even know if one of them actually hit it for me. If one of them actually has hit that spot for me yet. Can't really say. Not that day was bad, but I don't know. One hasn't hit it for me just yet. But overall, you know, music is always going to hit. Music does hit when it hits, and I can always appreciate that. And every expansion usually has my favorite dungeon, but I'm sorry. Dawn Trail, you gave me one dungeon I already hate and I'm despising. That being the Stray Burrow. I'm sorry, that place can go burn and stay burned. I'll never want to do that place again. Now, let's get into the real elephant in the room. Jobs and how they play. Now, here's the thing. People tend to forget that you have to do a balancing act. If your jobs are harder, content is easier. It's just a hand-in-hand thing. If your jobs are harder to play and master, the content is easier to make up for it, so they balance out. But if your jobs are easier to play, and I'm not just saying one job or 2 jobs here and there. No, I'm talking about all the jobs. Meaning, if you said it out of 5 stars, 1 being easy, 5 being hardest, every job, if the average of all the jobs is say around a 4, that means the jobs are harder to master. Meaning the content has to be at least a 3 or a 2 to be balanced. But if your jobs are on the 1 or 2, then your content can be at that 4 or 5. But if everything's at a 3 on the jobs, then your content is at a 3. We keep it balanced. Some people get that, some people don't. This is why I hear people complain about, oh, this content is too easy or it's too hard. Now, considering that some people might have a deficiency or handicaps, I play with people who has deficiencies and handicaps. I have a friend, she is blind. She has a marker that says, I am legally blind. She doesn't do this stuff. So even if she wanted to do the MSQ stuff, she would come to us. And yes, if she has to play healer, fine. But if we can get her away with playing in DPS, so be it. We'll let her play DPS and say, we'll cover for you. We don't care how bad you feel about it or how much you apologize. We're like, we got you. We want you to get through to enjoy the story. So you can, we'll hold your hand and carry on to the next expansion. That's what we do. And I feel for them, and I understand how some of them feel. Like, I understand if she ever did come back and did that current, but not the current. Is it? No, it's not the current. The previous current level 100 dungeon. It's in the level 100. It's in the expert roulette, where you had that second boss is a split boss fight. Yeah, I can understand that was going to be the challenge for her. She would struggle. That is fine. But I wouldn't care. I'd be like, I'd rather you try it. I don't care if you wipe. We just want you to get through it, have fun, even if it's just the one time. That's all I'm saying. That's all I care about. Get through it the one time and be done. Actually, no, I think my favorite trial for right now would be the Doom Train. Yeah, I think Doom Train is going to be my favorite trial just for this expansion right now. Until we see what comes out in 0.5. Now, back to the jobs. I understand they want to make jobs homogenous. So if you pick up one, you like, for tanks, if you pick up Paladin and you learn that, part of that what you learn will go over to learning Gunbreaker and then Dark Knight and Warrior to a degree. And actually, this is sort of a thing loosely back in Shadowbringers, whereas you could put Warriors and Dark Knights together in one group. Say, if you learned one, you can learn the other, especially in cooldown management. But then you could put Gunbreaker and Paladin together as well in another group, because if you learn one, you learn the other. And then you could put that pool together at times and be like, okay, I can pull from here and here. Paladin had a slightly higher skill ceiling though to make that work, but it was doable. Now you can just say, okay, we can do one-to-ones. And literally, you're doing one-to-ones with every tank job. Because everybody has a 40%, so that can always be together. Then they have their then you have the Rampart, so that's unique across everybody. Then they have their personal, their universal personal, which is down Warriors. I forget what Raw Intuition is upgraded to. I know there's Nascent Flash. Oh, Blood Wedding. I think that's what it's called. Blood Wedding, TBN, Holy Sheltron, and Heart of Conundrum. They're all the universal cooldowns. And then, I know, like Dark Knight and Gunbreaker have an extra one where they have Ovulation and Aurora. So you have those extra ones. Now, Paladin, you can also toss in Bulwark. Warrior doesn't have one, but it doesn't matter. And then every tank has their group wide. You can put all the tanks together, homogenize it there, and defensive cooldowns. Defensively, yes, they're all pretty much homogenized. Offensively, not so much, because in some cases, you already made Dark Knight feel like another version of Warrior, just weaker because Warrior has direct crit behind theirs. Dark Knight does not. And you almost play them the same, just slightly different, but they fundamentally work the same. And then Gunbreaker is his own self, and it's just a freight train, especially after this recent update. It's just a freight train. Paladin is just the king of I'm all ranged. And their all range works for them because you can put Paladin and Gunbreaker together and see like if Paladin can do something like this at 30 seconds and this at 30 seconds, Gunbreaker is doing the same thing. They have a cycle rolling for them, both of them. Same thing with Warrior and Dark Knight. They have something that pops up like every minute, and then you can burst with that. I think Warrior has it, but Dark Knight does not. I think they're still on 2 minutes. That gets changed to 1 minute, then that basically makes them homogenized and be the same. So yeah, I get they want to homogenize and make everything easy for anybody to pick them up and learn them. But in a way, you kind of take away from other aspects and make it feel like you're dumbing down too much and you're really taking away from everything. Healers is sort of safe from it, but is also sort of catching up in that some aspect. I mean, we already got Sage and Scholar being our barrier healers, so certain skills line up to being 1-to-1. Astro and White Mage are doing the same thing, so they have their homogeneous lineup of skills that works for them. Though I know some people don't like Astro with doing the whole card thing, and I know a lot of it's the whole Royal Road with cards. Some never dealt with it. Oh, sorry. I dealt with it. I didn't mind it. Also, it was a pain in the ass, but it was also one of those things where you wanted Royal Road back then in Heavens, where you wanted Royal Road spread balance so everybody gets the damage buff. Then if you wanted to enhance it, or you can do enhance road for one person, say, okay, I want you to have balance, or I want you to have recast a recast cooldown, so you get your skills come up faster. So you can enhance this on somebody, which is like Summoner's Ether Flow, would now just instead of being that minute, now it became like 40 seconds, 45 seconds, which is now already a thing, being 40 seconds. But imagine him that back then, that's almost 30 seconds. That means faster ether flows. Or mana or other stuff. It was quite the fun thing to do. DPS is, I mean, they're in their own boat. I didn't realize now that Machine is caught up and now it's higher up in damage. Which I'm grateful for them. Machinists, you need it. Y'all deserve it. Y'all do good. And congrats to that lone summoner who cleared the Savage tier. My hat's off to you. And I know some people might think, why not take away Summoner and Red Mage's res and make that a cross skill so Summoner can have more damage? I mean, yes, but it's part of a ruling to a balance that if your job has utility, then you're kind of doing less damage. If your job does not have utility, you got more of a buff to your damage. It's a balancing act, but it's neither here nor there. Sorry, so many yawning. And I know this is a fact because this has been their case and point of doing for the longest time. Samurai is a selfish DPS, so they're supposed to do more damage. Viper is a selfish DPS, they do more damage. Reaper was the one that slid in back at Endwalker because they was not selfish. They had raid utility, though, but their own personal damage buff was ass to put on, which should have been off GCD, not a GCD. I don't know what they was thinking with that, but they have a raid buff, just like Monk have raid buffs. And dragoons have a buff, and ninjas. So their damage is not as high, but it's still high enough. It's a balancing act. You just have to do as is. Now, what's my outtake for everything going forward? Honestly, it's a matter of just I take it with a grain of salt and see how it plays, because honestly, there's only so much they can do. But maybe since we phased out PS3, and I'm pretty sure at some point PS4 is going to get phased out, and we're going to be on PS5 and PS6. I just want to say that maybe, I don't know, maybe they can get better. I don't know. But here's the thing that I'm going to get into now that I got that out the way. To all those players, and I'm going to say this right now, some of you get out the basement, go touch some grass, because here's the thing. I don't care about what most people say. Sometimes I look at the forums, I look at what people say. And honestly, there's some things to be changed. Firstly, this is my personal opinion. If you're one of those people who likes to roll visit and leave your data center to go to another, hey, that's cool and all. But if you AFK, you're ruining it for somebody else. They should implement a thing that makes you players who like to AFK on another data center because you don't want to build your own, just server transfer. Pay for the server transfer and move. They should implement a thing where if you've been on a server for like 72 hours straight or something, it should auto log you off and auto move you back to your home server and make you stay on your home server for 48 hours before you can go somewhere else. That's just my opinion. Also, your housing lottery system is ass because, look, on my server, there's somebody who has the entire Mist Ward bought up all by themselves. Like, what are you doing? So you're gonna spend all this money just an entire ward to yourself? You're not helping nobody. You're not helping yourself either. And you probably don't even play, and yet you somehow just beat the 45-day demolition just by, oh, I just log in, walk in, log in, walk in, log in, walk in. That's really not helping nobody, especially those who want a house, who've been trying and they can't get one, when that one person who's probably a bot has a whole ward to themselves. Now, here's the thing, and I'm not going to call out any person who's a disabled person who plays this game, because you know what? My hat's off to you because I know you try and you do your best. To those who like to go on the forums and complain about stuff, you complain about, oh, the game is too hard, my job I play is too hard, or this and that. Shut up. Stop complaining. Literally, just stop. And here's why I'm going to tell you to just stop. Because the more you complain, they're going to put those changes in. And this game gets so easy that you will quit. And then you wonder why it has happened? You have yourself to blame. You don't believe me or think so? It's been the case in point since A Realm Reborn. Basically since 2.3. When they did 2.2, I want to say even patches is raid, odd patches is alliance raid. So 2.2, second raid tier, the Binding Close of Bahamut, which really wasn't a raid, it was just there for them to test bed something. People said they wanted something harder. Okay, they got something harder. They didn't have the full implementation for new or loot or anything. You just got a title. That was fine. People was okay with that. They enjoyed it. They had their kick out of it. They did it once, got their title, never looked back. People said they like this. They want harder content like that going into the next expansion. Oh, they got what they wanted, but it was so overtuned that they was getting stomped hard. So they had to fix that. And this was when SE said, hey, we'll give you what you want, but ease up. Let us do it our way so we can give you quality content, a quality raid fight. So y'all can jump in there, do this, have fun. Because otherwise, we're going to make something so hard that you ain't going to be able to clear it. But they took that kind of hard content, and that's what made them create Ultimates. So that was also the learning point of saying, don't make us do a 20-minute fight. That's nerve-wracking. Long fights are long fights, regardless. Because look at Savage. If you can do a Savage fight, you can do I ain't gonna say you can do an Ultimate, but some Savage fights are basically a borderline Ultimate. People complain that their job had too many buttons. Now, I know this is where PC players complained. How you gonna say, PC players complain, not console? It was definitely a PC player who complained about this, more so than a console player. It was known, and it was even said there was a PC player. Console players, you can get enough buttons to squeeze everything in there if you know how to do it right. PC players, you could kind of do the same, but you kind of be like, you run a few extra bars. Look, I play both sides, so I know. But there was a PC player who complained about too many buttons. This is why now it's dumbed down. Why do you think playing a healer is so dumbed down easy? Why do you think some jobs got stuff removed? Because people complained. Healers. Oh, I'm not forgetting about you because I'm coming after you guys right now. Y'all complaining about y'all feel like y'all had nothing to do. Now, I'm going to say this. This was not hardcore healers who complained. This was casual healers. There was some casual healers who complained about this. Too many buttons, or they try to do healing and then go to DPS, and it said it was too hard. They've removed cleric stance and they removed some of those extra buttons. Congratulations, you made healing easier along with DPS, and so no stancing. Yeah, I complain. Then when people start doing different content, y'all complain about, and because y'all complained about that, this also made content not healer heavy on restrictions. Look at some of the Savage fights cleared without a healer. Look, first dungeon of Dawn Trail, it was done without a healer. And I think it was done at FanFest. It wasn't. I think that was just to prove a point that healers was irrelevant. Unless it was just for an ultimate where there was some mechanic that force locked you behind needing a healer. As far as I know right now, I want to say Fruit still requires a healer. As far as I also know right now, Ubu requires a healer because you need a healer to do level 3 limit break to full heal and bypass the Doom mechanic, so you can get into ultimate weapon. Yeah, healers, you did that to yourselves. So, word of advice, before you go on the forum and start complaining about something, think about this and think about what kind of consequences will come from it down the line. Because when you start complaining and seeing stuff, shit comes back and bites you in the ass. But I'm going to wrap it up here. It's been close about 30 minutes of me going on about this. And, I should get ready to do raids for next week. Well, technically this week at Reset. Do other stuff. And, look forward to, seeing 8.0. So, Till then, this is Legacy of JPS. See you guys next time. Take care and enjoy yourselves. Bye bye.